Okay folks, welcome back, thanks for joining us again. So it's approaching Christmas time, at least it is right now when I'm recording this, and so we're going to learn the best Christmas song that there ever was. It is of course Fairytale of New York by the Pogues and Kirsty MacColl. Now this is a great track, very popular this time of year, great for a sing-along, and in good news for us, there's only really like 4 chords in it. The difficulty in this piece comes with, as ever when you've got a piece with lots of repeated chords, is remembering which order to play them in, okay? And I'm not going to suggest that we might memorize that in any way. Best way to do this, in my opinion, is you print out the music, you learn to play the chords in the shapes I'm going to show you right now, and then you just always keep that sheet handy by the piano at Christmas time for a sing-along, okay? So let's have a go. Okay, Fairytale of New York is in the key of D, which means we're going to need F sharp and C sharp. And then that gives us a major scale there. I don't think we're going to deviate from those notes actually throughout the entire piece. We're going to do a lot of pivoting around that move and expanding in and out. And something sounds a bit weird when you do that, just check. Maybe you've got a C when you should have a C sharp, or an F when you should have an F sharp. Okay? Now, these intro chords, I'm going to go into the intro in detail at the end. For now, we're just going to learn the chords in their correct positions so that when we come to just add that extra little bit of sparkle at the end, it's nice and easy. Okay? So where shall we start? With a G chord. Let's take it here. G, B, D. I'm going to invert that. Puts it in second inversion for the musos, and we're going to put that over a D, interestingly, for the beginning of a song. Okay, so that's G, B, D slash D. G slash D means G over D. And we're then going to contract our hand, one of our favourite moves, into a equally spaced root position, D, F sharp, A. Then we're going to move through another G chord, but in its unverted, one other inversion down. This one is now in first inversion and still over a D. Then we're going to go to an A in root position with an A in the bass this time. A, C sharp, E, evenly spaced, thumb on the A. And then we're going to finish with our D, but we're going to put this one in first inversion as well, meaning our D is on the top, making it sound really nice and finished. Now we're going to play D and G, I think, mainly in 2 different inversions throughout this piece. This one we've just used here, we're mainly going to use at the end of phrases because it sounds much more finished than that one. I say much more, it sounds a bit more finished than that one. Okay, and that's key when you've got these repetitive chords. So let's go over those again. G slash D, to D in root, through this G, then an A in root to D. That is the basics of your intro. Now before we get into the real fun part of this song, what we've got is these kind of, they're almost like a prelude verses. They kind of set the song up and then they go away and they never happen again. And they are all set up, both of them are set up by this, which is a G in root position over A. And that's just a fabulous chord for leading us to a D, which we will take here. D, F sharp, A. Then we're going to go to a G, which is going to pivot around this D. Keep it in the middle. This note, top note, goes up, probably ring finger to pinky. Thumb just moves. Back to the D. Now we're going to go back to that lovely G over A just for a second, and then to an A in its root position. So let's try those round. Does Christmas Eve, babe, in the drunk tank, when an old man said to me, I'll see another one. They go round again, almost, and he sang a song. Red old mountain dew, turn my face away. And then here we're going to go down to a G and dreamed about. So it's that same G to A, but this time our bass notes are going to match. And dreamed about you. And there's that D in its first inversion with the D at the top to finish off that verse. So that actually goes round twice, so let's do it. Second time around. Got on a lucky one. Came in 18 to 1. I've got a feeling this year's for me. So happy Christmas. I love you, baby. I can see a better time when all our dreams come true. And to finish this off, we're just going to do those intro chords again. Do, 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 do. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is teach you like two sets of chords. I'm going to call them verse A and verse B. And everything that we come, aside from the chorus and the bridge, which we'll come to later, the next sections of the song are kind of either those chord sequences, either in whole or in part. So bear with me, and then the little interlude, which we've kind of just got to, that bit, will be part of these chords, and we'll just slice them and dice them into the structure shortly, okay? But for now, let's first of all talk timing. We've been in a nice 4/4 up to here, haven't we? 1, 2, 3. In the drum time. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay. And what happens when we hit this? We go. And all of that stuff. That is in 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For our purposes, we're thinking 2 groups of 3. That's the main thing about 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can think 1, 2, 1, 2 if you want. That is the only place we're ever going to change chord. And in the first instance, when you're first starting out, gives you a lovely rhythm. Okay. Yeah, so that's where we're thinking. Occasionally the chord stays longer, but it's always on one of those beats. Okay. So what are the chords? Let's do that. First chord, D major, D, F sharp, A. Let's take that there. Second chord is going to be an A. For this, we're on D, F sharp, A. We're going to contract to meet our thumb, A, C sharp, E. And then, after that, we've got a B minor. Now, if we just step everything up, B, but remember to stay in the key signature, A, C sharp, E becomes B, D, F sharp. It's naturally a minor chord in our key signature of D, okay? Chord number 3. Chord number 4 is a G. This is a lovely change from here. We need G, B, D, and we've got B, D, F sharp. So all we're going to do is that probably ring finger to pinky change. And then we're going to pivot back to our D. No place for the old. There's that D to A, which we've done a bunch of times already. So let's run that first little kind of 8 chords or whatever it is. D, A, step up to B minor, to G, and then D, and in the second half, first, that's D to B minor this time. So that one, again, lovely change. D, F sharp, and A becomes B, D, F sharp, and then back to D, pivot to G, and then same game at the end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, A down to D. Okay, so that's all of the chords A. We're going to call it verse A chords. Now let's run them all with the lyrics. I got cars bigger than I got rivers of gold. Right through you, no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. And that, chords A, chords version 1. Okay, so the second half that we need to learn sounds very similar, but it's actually less chords, so let's put them in their place. Again, it's all just switching around this kind of D in the middle. So we're starting with a D. Lyrics, you were handsome, you were pretty, queen of New York City. D down to A. We've done that change a bunch of times already. And then we're going to, these come quite quickly. We're going to go D. Pivot to G, down to A, up to D. So we've got to pivot up and then go down and then expand back up. And that gets us, that's like a 1, 4, 5, 1, which is very common. And it's nice to know how easy it is to get between those 1, 4 and 5 chords, because we're going to see them a lot as we play other pieces. And the good thing about this one is that those chords just repeat themselves. So the second half is Sinatra was swinging and the drums they were singing. They kissed on the corner and danced through the night. Okay, and that's it. Those are your second half of the chords. So let's try, before we move on, let's play like verses 3 and 4, I guess we'll call it, with those 2 sets of chords. So we've got a do. They got cars big as bars, they've got rivers of gold, and the wind goes right through you, no place for the old. When you first took my hand on a cold Christmas Eve, you promised me Broadway was waiting for me. You were handsome, you were pretty, queen of New York City. When the band finished playing, they howled out for more. Sinatra was swinging and the drums they were singing. We kissed on the corner and danced through the night. And there we are, into that iconic chorus. Okay, so this is the bit we've all been waiting for, right? We've just played Kissed on the Corner and Danced Through the Night. And we're going to go to a G. Pivot, D to G. And the boys of YPD choir. Back to D. B minor. Change we've done before, nice and easy. And then we're going to do that little 1, 4, 5 again, right? And the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Simple, right? Let's try that with the lyrics. So we've just done Kissed on the Corner and then Danced Through the Night. And the boys of YPD choir still singing Galway Bay. And the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. And of course there we will head into another interlude, which we'll cover right now as we talk about the structure. Okay, so where are we up to? We've done our intro, we have done our kind of prelude verses, 1 and 2. We have then had a little bit of an interlude, right? And that is the end of the second chords we just talked about, chords version 2. Okay, so that interlude is going to go D, that interlude. After that we will go into our verses, chords version 1, chords version 2 that we just covered a second ago, and then we'll go into the chorus. Now after this we're actually going to play chords version 1, chords version 2 and the chorus again. It's just that Chords version 1 this time is like an instrumental solo. So actually, version 1, version 2 chorus, version 1, version 2 chorus has just happened. Not that difficult to remember, actually. And after that, we will go into the bridge, which is where we find ourselves now. Okie dokie, so we have just played our chorus. Now, we've got these bridge chords, which are a little bit of a kind of holding pattern until we go into the bridge with the lyrics. So kind of, again, two halves of this. So, gonna go to a G chord, back to a D chord, and that's your bridge. And now we're into our slow little section, which again, it's just moving around these chords. I could have been someone, well, so could anyone. D to G, and have my dreams with me. Back to D, and D to A. And then we'll do the same thing again. Put them with my own, can't do it. All moves that we've done before, just in a different order again. All right, so let's try that whole bridge. We've gone, and the bells are ringing out for Christmas Day. Could have been someone, well, so could anyone. I took my dreams from me when I first found you. I kept them with me, babe. Kept them with my own. Can't do this all alone. I've built my dreams around you. This chorus, the boys in the white lady choir sing. And then after that, on the record, we've just got a bunch of times round those bridge chords and that will get you to the end. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you the exact intro for the beginning. We started here. Okay, and we're heading to there. Now all we're going to do is pick up a C sharp and before we land on the A. So you've got B. Imagine we're just thinking about this top note. B. Okay. Nothing to add here. And then we've got a passing F sharp. D before we finish on that D chord. Easy peasy. Have fun with that. Print the music out, play it, sing it, and happy Christmas.